Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com, here to do your weekly intuitive reading for Monday, October 4th through Sunday, October 10th, 2021. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Power Angel Tarot cards by Radleigh Valentine for the main message for everyone. And your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Energy Oracle deck by Sandra Ann Taylor. Just a reminder that this is the first full week in the month of October. So if you haven't already, please go onto my YouTube channel to watch the monthly intuitive reading for the month of October, complete with numerological energy vibration, the astrological transits of significance for the whole month, messages from our angels and guides, and a special message card for you depending on your stone of choice for that. Also want to say an addendum here, although I did put a comment on that monthly October intuitive reading, that I did misspeak for part of it when I was talking about some of the planets turning back to direct motion. One of those planets I spoke of was Mercury turning back to direct motion, which is in fact true, and I did get the date of that correct. But for some reason, I was kind of spacing out, and I said that Mercury was turning direct in the sign of Aquarius, when in fact it's turning direct in the sign of Libra. And I really did know that, but of course I am a Libra, so I was paying special extra attention to that Mercury retrograde in Libra. But with all of the chaos and confusion of packing up and moving and being a little bit fatigued and tired, for some reason, I don't know why, I can't explain it, but for some reason I misspoke that Mercury was turning direct in Aquarius, which is not true. So make sure to read that comment below that monthly intuitive reading, and that will explain everything. But I'm also recording this week's intuitive reading, October 4th through 10th, a little bit ahead of schedule. And it's actually before I'm officially moving from Florida to South Carolina, because I didn't want to be delayed once I land there and have to unpack and set up. I didn't want to miss this week's reading. So I am in fact recording this a little bit early, which means that all of my crystals are packed away, and the special stones of choice this week are in the form of my bracelets. Some of the bracelets that I have, not all of them, of course. But we have your first stone of choice here is rhodochrosite. Okay. So the properties of rhodochrosite, if this were going to be your stone of choice, this helps to integrate physical and spiritual energies within ourselves, helps to stimulate the love vibration, and it energizes the soul. All right, and then our second stone of choice is called Opal Aura Quartz. Okay, it has a kind of a bluish tinge to it, yet it's kind of opaque and clear, like opal. That's why it's called Opal Aura Quartz. This particular stone helps to strengthen the connection between the physical and the astral bodies. So strengthening the connection between the physical and astral bodies. It helps to facilitate the connection to our spirit guides, and also to higher wisdom, in order for us to further our life purpose. And then our last stone of choice is garnet. And garnet helps to cleanse all of our chakras. It helps to purify, revitalize, and balance our energy. Helps to inspire love, devotion, and passion. And it also helps to heal emotional disharmony. So again, our stones of choice here are the rhodochrosite, the Opal Aura Quartz, or the garnet. Okay, so you can think about that. And this particular video, I think I'm just going to do it in front of the camera, just again because of lack of time and trying to do those last minute packing details. So Let's start out by talking about the astrological transits of significance for this week. On Tuesday the 5th, we have Mercury, which is now officially in retrograde motion as of last week, this past Sunday, actually, I think it was. And Mercury retrograde in Libra is making what's called an inconjunct, or sometimes called a quincunx aspect, to Neptune in Pisces. Now, Mercury rules the mind, the mental realm. Mercury rules how we communicate with other people or how we communicate with ourselves. It rules our thoughts, our ideas, and our perceptions. And of course, in the sign of Libra, there's a focus on communication with significant others in our life, whether it be romantic relationships, business relationships, friendship, family. It's all about balance, harmony, equality, and compromise. Now, Neptune is the planet that rules the spiritual realm. It rules things unseen or things that are intangible. It rules the imagination. It rules fantasy. It rules our connection to our angels and guides. It's in his home sign of Pisces, which just kind of strengthens those energies even further. Now, this idea of it being an inconjunct means there's some sort of adjustment that has to be made. There needs to be an adjustment with how we're communicating or how we're perceiving things in our lives, how we're interacting with other people. Is there a sense of equality and balance and harmony with those interactions with other people, or again within our own mind and how we're self-talking to ourselves? Or do we need to adjust into this more spiritual, flowing, unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness-oriented Neptunian energy? So that's happening on Tuesday. On Wednesday, it's a big day Wednesday the 6th, we start out with Mars, the warrior planet, the planet of energy and action, also in Libra right now. So, again, Mars, the warrior, is kind of assertive, the individual. It's, it kind of rules the self and what the self wants and needs, but it's in Libra. So there's this need to kind of balance self with others or put our energy into relationships and bringing harmony to a relationship. Mars in Libra is going to be in an inconjunct. Here we have another inconjunct aspect to Uranus, the Great Awakener. Uranus that rules sudden and unexpected energies. Uranus that rules freedom and independence. And so here again, we have a planet in this relationship sign of Libra, and it's in an inconjunct to a planet that rules freedom and independence. So again, we're needing to adjust our energies. Maybe we need to adjust them to feel a little bit more free or own our independence a little bit more. Maybe we need to adjust it the other way to where we're looking at the harmony and balance within the relationship and make sure that we're compromising and having things be fair in regards to what we want and what other people want. There could also be some sort of surprises here. Again, Uranus rules that sudden, unexpected, surprise, shocking kind of energy. And so something may come in out of the blue that shocks us or surprises us or redirects a relationship in some way, shape, or form. Now, that particular aspect happens right before the new moon on Wednesday in the sign of Libra. So the new moon is about new beginnings. Libra is about partnerships and relationships, balance, harmony, compromise, equality. So this new moon, which is at 13 degrees of Libra, is connecting to Mars and Uranus, okay? So Mars is activating these new beginnings in relationships or activating these new beginnings to bring back a sense of harmony and equality into our lives. And Uranus is again bringing some changes or redirections or some lightning bolt realizations as he is the Great Awakener. So we might again awaken to an aha moment of something regarding relationships where there might be some inequality going on or where we might need to adjust something to allow peace and harmony and good energy, equality to flow a little bit better. Also on the 6th, as I said, it's a big day. Also on the 6th of October, Pluto, the planet of death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, power, and control. Pluto is turning back to direct motion at 24 degrees of Capricorn. So Pluto moves very, very slowly. So it's usually only the few days before and the few days after Pluto's turning either direct or retrograde. In this case, it's direct, where the energies of Pluto are going to be magnified. So death and rebirth energies are magnified. Transformation energies are magnified. Power or empowerment or disempowerment energies are magnified. And again, this is probably going to be felt all this week. And we might have even felt it at the tail end of last week as well. This is both on a collective level and a personal level, depending on where Pluto lands in your chart. On a collective level, we might look to some power and control games, some shadow energies, something going on in the collective where we're probably being disempowered and need to take our power back. So, be aware of what's going on out there in the world. I don't personally read the news, but if you read the news, you might see something that's happening and going on in regards to some huge shadow government or power and control of authorities or organizations or something that's happening out there. So again, the most positive thing is for us to empower ourselves, right? And then also to round out the 6th, this day of the new moon, we have the sun, which of course is currently in Libra, and it is in conjuncting Uranus. Well, I guess I said that. The new moon is connecting to the Mars and Uranus thing. So again, needing to awaken, change, redirect, bring in some freedom or independence energies, making sure that you're each your own individual. Even though we come together in relationship, we still have our own kind of individual interests and maybe separate lives or separate likes or dislikes. And they're sometimes a little bit of freedom, a little bit of space in relationship actually brings two people closer together. So that's something also to pay attention to. On Thursday, the 7th, Venus, the planet of love and romance and relationships, the planet that rules the divine feminine, the planet that rules our personal resources, values, finances, and money. She's moving out of the passionate, deep sign of Scorpio, and she's going to be moving into the light, inspirational fire sign of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is also about freedom, okay? And so she's going to, within relationship matters, express a little bit more freedom, want a little bit more freedom, want a little bit more adventure or inspiration or happy, joy, travel, fun kind of thing, because fire signs are always about all of those things. In money and finances, well, Sagittarius is a mutable sign. Mutable means changeable, and because it's fire and mutable, it means there's a lot of vacillating energies, a lot of movement here. So this can be that within finances and money matters, some new thing appears where it could potentially bring us some blessings, some abundance, some prosperity in some way, shape, or form. And if it's not money and finances, just look for the blessings, because Venus is a planet that brings blessings, and she's in a sign, Sagittarius, that rules blessings and expansion and happiness and joy. Now, this can also be, depending on how it lands in your chart, Venus and Sagittarius with finances could also bring kind of a quick and sudden change of some sort. Like, in other words, if someone were to spend money, a Venus and Sagittarius thing to do would be to just very knee-jerk reaction, I want to spend this money and spend it very quickly. So you might want to just be aware of that, especially since Mercury is retrograde. We might not want to pool all of our resources or spend too much money on a big item right now. But again, Sagittarius kind of expands into moving very quickly sometimes. So you might want to just be aware of that. Venus also rules values, and so her values, Venus's values now that she's in Sagittarius, are going to operate more around the idea of freedom and independence and expanding her horizons in some way, shape, or form. Also on the 7th, the sun comes together, I was going to say connects and comes together at the same time. The sun comes together with Mars, the warrior, in Libra. So now again, Mars is an activator planet. he puts energy towards something. So Mars is activating and putting energy towards partnership, relationship, bringing balance, harmony, and equality. And the sun is shining its light upon these relationship energies. So that might be a really kind of a nice time there. On Saturday the 9th, the sun in Libra is now connecting to Mercury in Libra. Remember, Mercury is retrograde. So this might be a communication or a message that we've been waiting for that hasn't come in yet, and all of a sudden it appears. This could be connecting with or communicating with someone from the past. You might receive a telephone call, an email, a text out of the blue where someone from your past kind of makes a reappearance. Either way, communication with Mercury here and the sun is highlighted, and there can be a lot of good, open, honest, balanced communications and interactions with other people at that time. And then, of course, because the sun is connecting with both Mars and then Mercury, Thursday through Saturday, this means that Mercury in Libra is going to connect with Mars in Libra also on Saturday. So again, there is an energized energy of communication, conversing with other people, messages from people from the past, or just messages that are coming in about various aspects of your life that maybe you've been waiting for, or that maybe some of them are surprises. But there's this nice resurgence with this Libra energy of justice and compromise and just having that harmony between people, not just romantic relationships, but all types of relationships that we're seeking. Now, where Libra is about balance and all of those things I just mentioned, there can also be an imbalance, right? So with all this Libra energy, we want to look to where something isn't fair or just, or where it isn't equal. It's not in a balanced state. And then we want to empower ourselves or empower the other person so that there is this balance that comes together. And then on Sunday the 10th, we have Saturn, which is the planet that rules delays, limitations, restrictions, but also structure and form and manifestation. Saturn is turning back to direct motion at 6 degrees of Aquarius. Now, Saturn's a pretty heavy planet. When I say heavy, I mean the energy with Saturn can feel a little heavy. It's very third dimensional. It deals with authority figures. It deals with karmic lessons. And it just deals with third dimensional time. So there's that kind of heaviness there. So as Saturn has been slowing down all this week, and even probably the week before, last week, we might feel a little bit more fatigued or tired or heavy or overwhelmed with Saturn's energy as it's been slowing down. Karmic lessons might be coming to a head where we're needing to learn something. Saturn wants us to take responsibility, and he's the great teacher of lessons, or the great teacher of karmic lessons. So what is it that Saturn has been trying to teach you? Where does he want you to take responsibility for your life? Or where does he want you to restructure your life or bring something into manifestation and form? Okay, so that's what's going on astrologically. Let's go ahead and see what our angels and guides have to say for this week. Now, as many of you know, and I probably mention it all the time, is that I try to stick to 3 cards, but I haven't used the Power Angel Tarot deck in a really long time. And I just thought, you know what? Why not? Let's use the Power Angel Tarot deck for something different. And cards, when I was shuffling, cards were just kind of flying out. And I kept saying, is this part of the reading? Is this part of the reading? It's like, yes, yes, yes. And so we have 5 cards to look at here. Let's turn over the first card. Okay, so the first card is the 8 of Raphael. This is like the 8 of Cups in the traditional tarot. The number 8 does deal with our sense of power or empowerment. The number 8 also numerologically deals with our career path, life path, destiny path, our sense of inner authority, money, finances. And this is the suit of cups, Raphael, right? So we're talking about a sense of disempowerment in this case within our own emotions or emotional body. Or there's something going on in relationships, people that we're emotionally connected to that feels disempowering to us or taking away our power. Usually the 8 of Cups in the traditional tarot speaks of walking away, almost dissatisfied walking away, or upset walking away, sad walking away from a situation or circumstance that is no longer supporting us in our own power. In other words, it's disempowering us. So again, it's perhaps a situation has been disempowering you. Maybe it's a family matter, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's even a career or a job, or maybe it's where you live. It's just not supporting you anymore. And so as we walk away, we want to empower ourselves. We want to walk towards more of that inner strength and inner authority that the number 8 holds, and walk towards something new here. The message at the bottom says there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you. And then it says a spiritual quest. So we're on a spiritual quest to put ourselves in a space or a place that's more empowering to us, that we feel more passionate about, that we connect with more, that supports us emotionally speaking. And we can see this woman, she's getting ready to walk across this bridge, over this little stream here. The water is symbolic of our emotions. And walking across the bridge is, walking through a new open door. The universe is presenting us with a new possibility or a new direction, a new opportunity. Or maybe we don't know what that new direction or opportunity is yet, but we just know that the old circumstance or situation isn't supporting us in the way that we want it to anymore. So it's time to cross that bridge and venture off on a new path, one that is going to be more empowering for us. Now, this card came out with another card, so let's see what card goes with this. Okay, so the next card, the one that came out with the 8 of Cups, well, it's another Cups card, but this is the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Raphael. Now, the number 6 numerologically usually deals with home and family, nurturing, counseling, caretaking, or those people that we feel an emotional bond with or emotional connection with. In this case, it could be also a situation that we're really emotionally connected to. And the 6 of Cups is usually traditionally about reminiscing on the past, reminiscing about the past, whether that past has been positive or whether that past has not been positive. In this case, because it comes out with the 8 of Raphael, maybe it's about circumstances and situations that have been disempowering to us in the past. And maybe we're just kind of reflecting on all of that and how far we've come, or what we still need to learn, where we want to change things. The number 6 also being about family could say that some of these energies come from the home and family we grew up with. So it's coming from, it's coming in the realm of our subconscious patterns, our perceptions and subconscious patterns that we have adopted or learned from the home and family we grew up in. Now, the message here says embrace your inner child. So I'm also going to change that word from embrace to heal. So let's say embrace and heal your inner child in this sense. It says new friends or rekindled relationships. Remember, I said someone from the past might make a reappearance or contact you in some way. And then it says children or childhood. So this could either be about your own children or grandchildren. This could also relate to, again, your childhood and growing up as a child. And those, again, those connections to the family. This could be about, well, to me, it's disempowering family patterns. But this could also be, this could also be about home and family matters where there's something just going on. And the something going on could be of a financial nature as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. I guess that was kind of the second card, but it was part of the first card. Now, the second card came out by itself, so let's turn this over and take a look at it. Okay, this is a major arcana. This is the moon with Archangel Haniel. Now, we do have a new moon this week, right? I mean, it does picture a full moon in the background. But we have a new moon this week at 13 degrees of Libra. So maybe not surprising that the moon card with Archangel Haniel came out. This could also be indicating that the next 2 weeks until we reach the next full moon, because it does have a full moon back here, that the next 2 weeks are particularly important to maybe move through some of these fears, anxieties, or old karmic patterns or old emotional patterns, because that's, in a nutshell, what the moon is all about. The moon card is about our fears, our anxieties, subconscious patterns. It can be about home and family. It can be about a child or children, or healing your inner child. The moon is also increased intuition, increased psychic abilities. Archangel Haniel helps us with our psychic abilities and healing abilities. So those could be on the increase and the rise over the next couple of weeks until we reach that next full moon. The message at the bottom says the opportunity to improve your plans. Well, when I read that, the opportunity to improve your plans, we are in that Mercury retrograde time period where we are needing to rethink, revise, research, and redo things in our lives. And that can be some of the plans and goals that we have. So we might need to rethink, revise, and redo or whatnot, some of those. Listen to your intuition for accurate guidance. And it says, face your fears and grow stronger. Okay, so those are all the things that we just spoke of. The opportunity to improve your plans, listen to your intuition for accurate guidance, and face your fears and grow stronger. So don't allow those old karmic patterns or old subconscious patterns to overtake you. Recognize them for what they are. Don't sweep them under the carpet. Don't be angry at them, but embrace the lessons that they were here to teach you. And then allow yourself to heal them and move on. Heal that inner child. Heal those subconscious wounds. Heal those patterns. And, even this is the 18th major arcana. There's an 8 in it, right? So this is about 1 is the self and 8 is empowerment. So empower yourselves and move through these patterns at this time so that you can move into a cycle of new beginnings. The last full moon we had was in Pisces. That was, latter September. But the last full moon in Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, and so a time of completion. Now we have this new moon this week to initiate a new beginning. And in 2 weeks, when we have the full moon, it will be in Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. And so again, Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is also about new beginnings and initiating something new, even though full moons are about completion. So it's going to be an interesting couple of weeks here between this new moon and the full moon that's coming up. Okay, let's look at the last card. The last card came out as 2 cards as well, so we'll look at the first of those 2 cards. And the first one is the King of Gabriel. And this is like the King of Fire or the King of Wands in the traditional tarot. So the King of Gabriel at the top says generous, inspirational, dynamic, and driven. That's what the king, right? The king is the authority. The king is the power, basically. In this case, it's in that fire element of inspiration and being driven, and it's about creative spiritual energy. The message at the bottom says, keep your eyes on the big picture. It says, leave the details to others. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Leave the details to others. Experience that leads to success and genuine concern for others. Experience that leads to success. And so if we learn from those karmic patterns, if we learn the lessons that Saturn this week is trying to teach us, then we can own our own authority and inner leadership abilities, our inner strength, our inner confidence, our inner courage, and we can move forward inspired. We can move forward into an energy of success and moving forward passionately and in a driven way and an assertive way, but in a good assertive way towards whatever that big picture of your life is all about. As it says in the beginning, keep your eyes on the big picture. What are your goals? What are your dreams? What is your vision for your future or for your family's future? So kind of keep your eyes on that prize, so to speak, and move forward positively, because this fire element, the King of Fire, it's a very positive card. And then let's see what came out with the King of Gabriel. And, we have another major arcana, and it's the Chariot. So this is a good card. The Chariot with Archangel Metatron. Now, Archangel Metatron, one of the things he helps us with is connecting to our own Akashic records, the book of life, so to speak. The energy, dynamics, the patterns, the lessons, the gifts, that our soul has lived throughout all incarnations, in all time and space. So he can help us to get in touch with our Akashic records. What are our gifts? What have we learned? What are we supposed to learn? You know, what is this lifetime, past lifetimes in this present lifetime? What is it teaching us? What are we supposed to be gaining in wisdom? The message at the bottom, determination and self-control. That goes well with the King of Gabriel. Determination, right? Driven, inspired, and determination. And self-control. Career advancement. This is really good for career advancement too. So whether it's career, job, or your life path and destiny path in general, both these cards coming out together at the end bodes very well for career advancement or moving forward in your life direction in a positive way. And then it says acknowledgement of success by others. Acknowledgement of success by others. So you're going to be recognized for who you are, what you're doing, and this might come with time, right? As you move in the direction of your life path, this is just saying that you will come to the success and recognition that is due you, whether or not you're seeking it, but whatever is due you in the form of success and recognition, because you're following your path and your purpose in a passionate way, in a spiritual way, in an authentic way, you're going to get what it is that you deserve, that success, that recognition. Now, the Chariot, here we have Archangel Metatron in the Chariot being pulled by two horses, a white horse and a black horse, which is traditional in the regular tarot, in the traditional tarot. And usually the white horse is pulling in one direction and the black horse is pulling in another direction. Now, it doesn't really look that way to me in this particular card. It doesn't look like these horses are moving in two different directions. However, it does look like the white horse is just a step or so ahead of the black horse. Now, this is good because the black horse represents our shadow nature, our fears, our anxieties, which we all have, that shadow part of our ego. And then the white horse is our higher soul self, our spiritual self. And so this is good because our spiritual self is a little bit ahead of that shadow. We're going to be able to release the shadow and the fears and the anxieties. We're going to be able to heal this moon card and move into this inspiration and this creative authority and this positiveness and this success that we are seeking in life. Now, the number 7, this is a major arcana 7. The number 7 numerologically deals with inner wisdom and knowledge and trust and faith and truth. So if you hold on to those and meditate on those qualities, this is where you're going to be, or your higher soul self is going to be a step ahead of the shadow part of yourself. And again, we need our ego, right? We're not downing the ego. Our ego is part of our personality. It's what helps us operate on this third dimensional planet. But we don't want the shadow part of the ego, right? Because there's a good part, but we don't want the shadow part of the ego to be in the forefront, those fears and anxieties. We want our spiritual higher soul self, trust, faith, knowing that we're on the right path, that we're protected, guided, assisted by the angels, archangels, our guides, our ancestors of the light, and all leading us towards what our goals are. All right, so that's the message for everyone. Let's see what your special message card is depending on your stone of choice. So I'm taking a breath here and I'm going to shuffle. I'm going to close my eyes as I normally do. I don't want to see what's on the bottom when I'm shuffling and be distracted. But the first stone of choice, the first bracelet of choice was the rhodochrosite. So asking for special message for rhodochrosite people. Special message for rhodochrosite people. This one was calling my attention when I opened my eyes. The thinking woman. This is like Mercury in Libra, which, as I mentioned, is retrograde right now. But Libra is an air sign. And the air signs are all about thought and perception and communication. And we have a lot, of Libra. We have the Sun is in Libra, Mercury retrograde is in Libra, Mars is in Libra, one of the other air signs, which is Aquarius, Jupiter's in Aquarius, Saturn's in Aquarius. So we have a fair amount of air signs going on, which means, again, use your thoughts, use your higher thoughts, use your higher perceptions, come up with new ideas on how to move forward in your life. Be logical and objective. It doesn't mean to not use your intuition. Of course, we want to use our intuition as well. But this is really about using, again, our higher mind in the form of logic and wisdom, and thinking about the next steps of what we want to do and where we want to go. It looks like she's reading some sort of a pamphlet or book here. So she might be gaining information or receiving messages from outside of herself, from other people, from her angels and guides. So definitely take that into consideration too. That's the intuitive part. This can also, the air signs are also about communication. And so you might need to speak and communicate or interact with other people that are in the know, that have the knowledge and wisdom that maybe you don't have about a situation, a circumstance, or that can give you some sort of guidance or direction that you might be seeking as far as how to move forward with your plans and with your ideas, with your goals. I love that I just noticed when I was holding this up to the camera that there's a little butterfly over here. And butterflies are signs of new beginnings. In one of my tarot decks, the butterfly is the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning in a way of feeling. It's this wonderful, creative, artistic, loving, flowing, new birth kind of energy of new beginnings. And so that definitely bodes well for all of you as far as this card. All right, let's go ahead and see what the special message card is for the Opal Aura Quartz. So the Opal Aura Quartz people, special message for Opal Aura Quartz people. This one was sticking up and calling my attention. Oh, it says all tied up. Okay, you guys. So something is binding you, restricting you, controlling you, keeping you held back. Maybe it's just your own thoughts. Maybe it's your own perceptions. Maybe it's your own belief systems. Or maybe it's a situation or circumstance somehow where you feel a little trapped or confined. So you want to make sure to untie yourselves and free yourselves, which usually this constriction or feeling of being trapped or bound or whatever, a lot of times it's just an illusion that if we just make one simple decision, we make a choice, we take a new path, that we're going to be able to untie ourselves. We're going to be able to free ourselves from whatever is holding ourselves back. And again, maybe it's your own fears and anxieties holding yourself back from making a decision to move forward in a different way or to take a leap of faith in some way. I was wondering if this was a butterfly up here in the corner of this card too, but I can't really tell. I'm not sure if that's a butterfly. It might even be just a fairy, but I feel like in this case, if it's a butterfly, a fairy, whatever that magical looking energy is, it's going to assist and help. So call in that assistance. Call in your angels and guides, and call in your ancestors, and call in the ascended masters, whoever it is of the highest vibration of light, and they will come in and assist you and kind of untie you and unravel, so to speak, unravel whatever this restricting, conflicting energy is that's all around you. And isn't it interesting that this is number 23? And if you add the 2 and the 3, it's a 5. 5 in numerology is about freedom. It's about freeing yourself from whatever holds you back and trying something new and taking a risk and taking a chance. And so that's what I feel like you need to do in order to remove the feelings of restrictions around you. You might need to take a leap of faith or take a chance and take a risk and do something outside of your box. Or maybe you need to leap before you know where you're going to land, and just trust that the universe is going to guide you to the next step. So, yes, wonderful card here. She's got some sort of a headdress or wrapping around her head, as you can see. So this to me is also about paying attention to your claircognizance, opening up your crown chakra to divine wisdom, knowledge, guidance, kind of flowing in from the universe. It comes in the form of kind of like an aha moment or a flash of insight, a new idea that pops into your head. That's what the claircognizance would be all about. So pay attention to that intuitive and psychic guidance and insight this week as well. All right, and for those of you that chose the garnet, is the last one. Okay, garnet people, special message. Special message for the garnet people. Okay, this one was calling my attention. The Temple Path. I always love getting this card, and I get it quite a bit, not just always for myself, but for other people when I'm doing readings. The Temple Path. This is about being on a spiritual path, and perhaps you've veered off the path for a while, or perhaps you haven't been connected to your passion or your spiritual truth. This is saying that it's now time to follow that spiritual path, that temple path. You're going on a journey. Here we are, we're standing back here, and we're going to be going up these steps and ascending. So this is evolving, ascending up these steps of the temple path, the spiritual path, to this wonderful little mini temple here at the top of the stairs, where you can kind of, two things come to mind. That this is kind of a healing portal of energy here, that once you ascend and evolve and step into this kind of little temple area, that it's going to bring a great spiritual healing for you. It's also going to energize you, because what I assume is going up these steps on the other side of this temple, there's steps coming back down and onto a new path, a new direction, a new beginning, one that is more connected to your spiritual self, your spiritual, what do I want to say? Not journey, but the spiritual direction that your soul choose to follow in this lifetime. So again, maybe, and we all kind of veer off path during some times in our lives for a while. I feel like this is a time where you're reconnecting to your path. You're reconnecting to your spiritual self. You're reconnecting to your spiritual essence. You're coming back online, okay? And you're aligning yourself to your spiritual truth. The number 12, when you add the 1 and the 2, is a 3. And the 3s are all about expansion and creative self-expression, abundance, prosperity, and blessing energies. So as you move back onto your spiritual or the temple path, there's a lot of blessings and a lot of opportunities and a lot of positive expansion that's going to be coming your way. Again, we have these lights, these orbs all around you, your spirit guides, your angels. They're guiding you, they're assisting you. So trust in them, call upon them, ask them for messages, ask them for the next step, ask them for the timing of the next step, and where you're supposed to go next, what you're supposed to do next, and when you're supposed to do it. But this is a very, very positive card here. So, okay, I hope everyone has enjoyed this weekly intuitive reading. Thank you so much for all of your love and support in my journey of moving once again to a new place, moving to South Carolina. By the time this is aired and published on my YouTube channel or on Facebook, I will be settled in northern South Carolina, not too far away from Asheville, North Carolina, but it is in South Carolina. I'll be on the South Carolina border side. And so if any of you, I don't know that I have any clients. I have clients everywhere, all over the world and in the United States, but I don't think I have any in South Carolina. If you're one of my clients and I am misspeaking, say a hi and do a shout out. I know I have some clients in North Carolina, though. So I'll be closer to you all in North Carolina. So sending you all lots of love and light, everyone. Sending you many gifts and blessings for this new moon in Libra. And until we meet again, oh, by the way, if I didn't say it already, I think I did. Watch the monthly October reading if you haven't watched that already. So sending you blessings of love and light.